Well, good morning and welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. Finally back in my office doing these. Uh, Got back to the office a little bit yesterday. Was tired, but made it a few hours, and hopefully we'll be a little stronger today and get a little stronger each day. I'm planning upon preaching Sunday, so that's exciting. Feeling the COVID effects. I'm tired, got the shakes a little bit, but I think I'm getting better every day. Today's an exciting day. You remember when Jacob left the land of Canaan, his father's house, Isaac? Esau was mad, and Esau wanted to kill him. Esau had vowed to kill him. He left. His mom sent him to his uncle Laban's house. That's not been an easy life. Laban was a manipulator, deceiver. He did marry both Laban's daughters, which is a good thing. One of them he didn't want. He had to work twice as long for them. But God vindicated him. He made him a wealthy man off Laban's herds. Laban chased him down. They've made peace. And now it's time for him to make peace with his brother. He's wrestled with God, and he's ready to meet his brother next day. He's got it all lined out. He's got a plan, and he's got the gifts, the herds and things that he's going to give to Esau going first. He's going to have the servants tell him that these are gifts to my Lord. And then as he's coming, then he's going to have his families laid out in groups. He's got Leah and the servants groups up front. He's got Rachel and Joseph at the back, and then he's following. But apparently Esau is so eager to see Jacob that he's not even stopping to listen about all the herds. He's wanting to see Jacob. And I don't think Jacob knows exactly what that's about, but Jacob, who I think had made plans to hang in the back, then he starts rushing to meet his brother as well, just to see his fate, see what's going to happen. And lo and behold, rather than Esau coming to kill him, Esau's glad to see him. Jacob bows 7 times before him, which is in that day great honor. It means I'm your servant, I'm your total servant. And they greet, they embrace. Esau is so glad to see Jacob. They reconcile, they're back together, and it's a beautiful scene. And then Esau is wanting to accompany. Esau starts asking him about, are these your children, like that? And Jacob introduces his children and his wives to Esau, and they have a good family reunion there. Esau's wanting to accompany Jacob back, but Jacob says, well, I've got small children and I've got herds that need to be gently driven, which is probably true. But the other side of the coin is Jacob's not going to go to where Esau is. And this just might have been a polite way for him to say it. I think there may be a couple of reasons why he did not want to go stay where Esau was. I think one, Esau's standing right outside of Canaan. He's not in the promised land. God's called Jacob to come back to the promised land. And secondly, Jacob's flocks were big, Esau's flocks were big, and that causes trouble when you have family and you're trying to go for the same pasture land and the same water. So I think he just wants to clear out of his way. But the big thing is that they have reconciled, they have put their relationship back together. This is something that God wants us to do. He desires us to have good relationships with other people. In fact, the peace of God, shalom, means to be right with God and right with other people. Our lives are not right when we have broken relationship with God or when we have broken relationship with other people. So it should be we should always desire to have a relationship, especially with our family. I heard a story about the Great Depression, and there was 2 brothers who were inherited a hardware store from their father. And it was during the Great Depression, money was hard. And the crash dresser was at the back. And one day, one of the brothers had laid $1 on the cash register but not put it in. Came back and saw that the $1 was gone. Asked his brother about it. He said, "Did you see the $1 on the cash register?" And the brother said, "No, I didn't see it." And he came back to him a little longer and said, "Did you see the $1 on the cash register?" He said, "No, didn't see it." And after a while, I kind of got to accusing him of taking $1 and lying about it. Well, this caused a big rift in with the brothers, so much so they kept arguing about it. They put a wall down the middle of the store. One of them had one store on one side, one had one store on the other. Divided the community, divided the church. One's friends would trade with the other, and the other one would trade with the other, and it just caused a real hassle for a long time. About 20 years after that incident, there's a man came through town. And he comes in, he says, "Did you own this store 20 years ago?" He said, "Well, I was one of the owners, brother next door." And he said, "About 20 years ago, it was the Great Depression. I didn't have anything to eat." And I was walking by the alley and I looked out and there was $1 on the cash register. He says, "I took it and I went and got something to eat." He said, "But I have felt guilty about that ever since." And he said, "I'm here not only to pay back that $1 but to pay back interest for that." He said, "I just have always felt guilty about taking that and didn't feel like that." And the brother kind of broke down. He said, "Would you go next door and tell my brother what you just told me?" And the brothers did reconcile. They opened their store together back again. But 20 years over something that neither one of them did, something that was kind of foolish and silly. Jesus wants us to forgive our brothers for when they wrong us. We want to ask for forgiveness when we wrong them. To be the church or to be a family, whatever. I like what Henry Nouwen said. You have to forgive each other over and over and over and over. And I think that's what Esau and Jacob found out. It just wasn't worth having those bad feelings. And in your life, if you have somebody that you need to reconcile with, let me encourage you to do that today. Well, if you have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the morning as we continue this Genesis saga.